Yo, what's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy Pryoxis. I'm back with another video. Check this out. I wanted to wait. I wanted to give it some time before I actually done this video right here. That way I really got time to play the patch. And it wasn't like me, playing one day, playing 2 days, and okay, that's what it is. Alright. And if you don't know what patch I'm talking about patch 1.08, which was the latest patch. And I believe that was like April 24th, somewhere around there. So again, some time has passed. It's now May 5th. And I'll break this down as far as how I feel about the game, striking, grappling, and the clinch. Now I'm going to start off with the clinch because the clinch didn't really get a change. And I'll say something that I do wish to happen with the clinch. I know for sure as far as mechanics, I don't see the clinch changing much. But I would like to see vulnerability spikes being much higher when countering somebody or evading a clinch into a counter. A lot of people on ranked are consistently looking to clinch, and I feel that as if you're consistently looking to clinch, or you just time your opponent trying to clinch you, right, and you evade it, I feel like that counter should be much higher because the reward for them clinching you is they possibly get 2 free knees, or they can do the little thing where they put you in the little position where they basically can go for a guillotine. And don't get me wrong, I understand it, but I do think people are able to clinch for free basically. Because when you break it down, someone if they reach out, if we're like this and I reach out and I try to grab your neck, I'm leaving all of this exposed unless I'm doing this. But when I'm doing this, I'm no one's trying to reach out and blocking that, no, right? So all of this is exposed, which means this is very vulnerable, and I think that definitely should play a part when it comes to damage. But that's the clinch again. Not much changed about it. Now I want to talk about the overall grappling, and I would have to really go back over the patch notes, but I know as far as the grappling, they did change the stamina on the ground. I do want to say it is definitely a good thing. It's a positive from what I've played. I wouldn't be mad at seeing stamina drain even more while on the ground with fighters, especially ones that are really dominant, top heavy, and making the guys that are predominant strikers, really feel that pressure on the ground. Like this matchup right here, Islam versus Dustin, right? Dustin doesn't want to be on the mat. Islam wants to be there. Islam's going to really look to tire Dustin out on the ground, make Dustin work, right? I would like to see more drain on the bottom guy, also the top guy as well, depending on what they are doing on the ground. I would love to see more stamina drain. As far as the submission system, I won't speak on that because I've already did a video on that, and I'm not here to drag and complain about it. I've said what I said about the submission system. The ground and pound, personally, I do wish you could throw multiple elbows because I actually just watched a clip of GSP fighting against Michael Bisping, and when he dropped Bisping, he hit him with like 8 or 9 like unanswered elbows consecutively, just boom, boom, boom. I would like to see stuff like that. I would like to see the ground and pound. I wouldn't say damage, but I do want to see some things that was in UFC 3, like the ability to arm trap. Like if they throw a punch, you can arm trap. But again, that's me asking for a whole new mechanic added to the game that I don't think will happen. And I'm speaking about the game specifically. So again, the ground game as far as like damage didn't really change much. The way the ground game flows, it didn't change much as far as this patch, but because I believe the patch before this one, which will be 1.07 or 1.06, was when they changed the grapple advantage, and that nothing has changed from that. So, but that was definitely a big W. Taking away the negative grapple advantage. If you don't know what negative grapple advantage is, basically it is when if you have a stamina advantage, right? You're in the red corner, the bar, the top bar is at the right, or I'm sorry, it's on the left, all the way red. It would make your transition faster, and it would make my transition slower. Now it makes your transition faster, but mine are no longer slow, which is a huge W. Something that I feel as if a lot of comp players has been asking for since UFC 4. So definitely a W. Now I want to go over the striking, and this is the biggest part, in my opinion, on what I felt was the change of the game. And I'll start off by saying right off the bat, it was a change for the better. The game felt better. You know, the game felt more slower paced with how they done making the block recover faster, making the stamina, the short-term stamina recover slower. It kind of slowed down the game a little bit, made people have to, you know, really think and play a certain way. You know, obviously people can still be aggressive, but what they done is definitely a step in the right direction. With stamina, definitely a step in the right direction. I really can't complain too much as far as stamina. I've been able to drain guys' stamina lately. I've really, especially if you work the body, like early on in the game, they made, well, not early on, I believe probably about 3-4 patches in, maybe I'll say about 3 patches in, they made it where the body punches did more stamina drain, but they did less damage. And if you're playing against somebody and they're not watching that body health or watching their body, you're going to be able to drain their stamina quick. I've been able to drain guys bad as well. And picking my shots, that's one of the biggest things I feel in this patch that I've been able to upgrade and do, and that's just pick my shots better with these boxers, with these kickboxers. Personally, I do think the overly aggressive fighting is still pretty strong, and I'll explain why in a second. But I do understand, you know, some fighters like Max Holloway, you know, they can just barrage you with strikes. But I want to say this, and I know you guys may not agree, or you may disagree, or you may agree, but I think counter damage needs a really big buff. Now, I'm not asking for one punch knockouts. What I'm asking for is maybe possibly scaling the counters when opponent is moving forward higher. When opponent is moving forward with punches, make that counter scale higher, right? Because not only are they throwing the punches, they're throwing it moving forward, so their momentum is moving forward into your possible strikes, right? I definitely think that's something that should be done, because right now I feel the aggressive fighter, unless you're doing like the pull uppercut or the pull elbow, which everyone does, you don't really get too much damage on like slipping and popping somebody with a straight, or maybe even swaying backwards and popping somebody with a right hand. But like I said, in real life, you see guys get finished, cracked, rocked with that type of counter, and I want to see that be implemented into UFC 5. I want to see, you know, people be more cautious when it comes to moving forward and just throwing reckless, because Chan Sung Jung was a victim of that, just that exactly, rushing forward, trying to go crazy, got cracked. Yeah. Another thing that I feel like is plaguing the game right now is the slipping while moving forward strikes. I'm not necessarily upset at the fact that people use it. I'm more so upset with the overall game mechanic. I think it's kind of wonky, because the fighter, instead of them stepping and slipping, they're sliding across like the octagon. I'll show you really quickly. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's like they're sliding and they're gaining much more distance than they should be, instead of just stepping forward and slipping off the center line. So what I'm going to do is show you exactly what I'm talking about. Watch, I'm going to use Islam Makhachev, and I'm going to slip while moving forward. See what I mean? Instead of stepping, he's sliding. Look at that. Look at the feet. It's sliding. Now you do this into a hook. Now, this mechanic I'm going to talk a little bit on. I think the problem with this mechanic isn't necessarily the speed, because I mean it is fast. The problem is the distance that you gain from moving forward and slipping. That's the problem, right? Now You add that with the fact that you can throw this and kind of be safe. Like if you're thinking about it, if you're committing to moving forward, slipping, and throwing the right hand, that's a pretty big commitment. But watch this, right? I can move forward, slip, throw the right hand, block, and be backing up quickly. So, you know what I mean? I think this recovery needs to be a bit slower because, I mean, you're committing. When you move forward and you slipping and you're throwing a shot, you're committing. I see if you move forward and you slip, now you're moving forward, slipping, and you're going into a punch. And this punch does some damage, right? So, I would like to see if it gets blocked, right? Let your opponent be able to do a block counter. If you don't know what it is, basically catch and shooting, where you catch a shot, you block a shot, and you immediately fire off your own shot. I would like to see that be implemented when people are doing this slip hook. Like, the biggest thing I would like to see is just personally is just them not be able to cover so much distance, because it's way too strong. People are able to do this and then not be punished for it. Now, granted, if you do happen to land a elbow or a hook on these guys while they slipping, it does do damage. It does. But it's very hard to time. You gotta predict it, right? You can't really react to it, you gotta predict it. And in my opinion, it's very hard to react to. Especially with fighters with quick hands, like a fighter in real life. Think about if you're fighting Conor McGregor, right? And you come forward and you slip your head off the center line and you try to throw a shot, Conor's seeing that a mile away. Conor's gonna see that a mile away. Unless you're Habib and you throw an overhand right and knock him down, but that's neither here nor there, right? So yeah, I think this mechanic itself is just way too strong of a mechanic. I see a lot of people using this online. It kills me, especially when I'm trying to, just probe my jab out there, right? Now, granted, again, if I'm being very predictable with my jab, I can't be mad at somebody countering this, but they shouldn't be able to counter it from so far away, right? Shouldn't be able to slide across the octagon and throw this. I mean, really look at this. I'm sliding from kick range to land this. Like, really look at this. I'm at kick range. I'm not at punch range anymore. I'm at kick range, right? My jab moving forward doesn't even land. But if I slip while moving forward, right? If I slip, I can land it, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But this was probably one of the biggest things in my opinion that needs some looking at. And another thing in this game that I feel has just taken by storm is everybody is doing it, and I get it, I respect it. It's a game mechanic and it's a great way to evade strikes, but everyone is going body shot, move back, and everyone has, no matter the fighter, every fighter has this insane amount of reflex to sway backwards after a punch. And I'm gonna be honest, you're not moving like that, especially if you commit into a strike. Like, if you commit to a body shot moving forward, this is a big commitment. I see if you just throw it with your feet plain, you just throw it. When you move forward and you throw it, or you move forward and throw a punch to the head, right? Look at that. Look at that fast reflex. Look at, boom, I'm doing max damage on that cross, right? I'm doing 97%. And then I'm able to sway backwards just in an instant, essentially. Right? So make it to where fighters that are moving forward, right, when they commit into these strikes, give them more recovery time on head movement after they throw the punches. But again, you can tie this into the actual head movement stat. But again, these are game mechanics that I don't expect EA to change much. But with that being said, I'm going to end it here. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you did feel like, oh, Pryoxis, you just complaining, I literally am talking about the game and giving my perspective and giving what I feel like could be done as far as the game mechanics. who knows if EA watches my video? If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. It's more so about me talking to the community and talking to you guys and my supporters than talking to EA. Cause hell, that's not even go there. Hey, but I'm gonna get up out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, turn on notifications. If you are here for some gameplay, I am sorry for that. This is just me speaking about the patch. And if you made it all the way throughout the video and you watched this whole thing, you my good friend RW. Alright? But enjoy the rest of y'all day. Y'all boys and girls, respectfully. Shout out Faith Rocks. Y'all and Kari. Y'all stay up, stay blessed, keep moving forward. And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, alright?